My name's Jamie Bridgham. I'm an information technology and e-learning instructor, and I've been teaching for about 20 years here at Metro Community College. I teach classes in networking and the Fab Lab, which is a fabrication lab here on the Fort Omaha campus, which is my primary location. Well, I am one of the typical students at Metro, or at least the ones that I teach. I started as a mother raising my 3 children first. I waited until they were in high school, and then I started my career. I started at Metro taking classes, and then graduated to running a lab and started just working through. At one point, I left to work at Muscatine Community Schools to get more experience in the information technology area, came back as an administrative assistant or an administrator here, and then came over to the teaching. And that's where I've been doing most of my work since. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, so I was born in South Dakota, but I came down at 4 years old, so I consider myself an Omaha person. Graduated from high school at Northwest High School. I then started UNO, so I am one of our students that it took me 22 years to get my bachelor's degree. In that time, I also got 3 associate's degrees in graphic arts, so I started in art. I ended up going computers. I got my bachelor's at UNO, went back and finished up there, and then I got my master's of information assurance from Bellevue University. And I am halfway through a master's in photography at the Art Institute of San Francisco. I think my favorite teacher, and the one I try to model myself on, is a high school teacher. Mrs. Abood was one that made me realize that you follow your passions. Find something that you're passionate about and you'll be good, and you'll also be successful. So I've always told my students that not necessarily don't go for the money all the time. Try to find something you're passionate about and learn as much as you can and get as good as you can, and the money will follow you then. So I've followed her method of working. I just looked at the best teachers, and I guess the best methods of delivery. I like hands-on. I learned very quick when I was taking from Lou Ann Matthews in the graphic arts department and Becky Herman, that doing the hands-on and working through and getting critiques with your fellow students was the best way to learn. So even though I'm in an industry or a course of study that doesn't normally do that, we did a lot of team work and class work where we're doing groups, and we do a lot of critiquing and working and troubleshooting together. And so even though I'm taking a very artistic approach to the learning, I think it helps the people be more well-rounded when they come out and they're able to troubleshoot networks and how to fabricate something. I think it's because of the wide area of opportunities. You never get pigeonholed into one little area. They're always willing to let you grow and spread your wings and try other things. As a faculty, I'm able to go and do special projects. I've worked on several grants. Right now, I'm working with the Proto Grant, and I get students ones from industry coming in, and it's just keeping that varied group of teaching and the way that I teach and all of those things coming all the time. It just keeps me revitalized. I can sort of step back, take a breath, and then take the next challenge, and it is really fun. I love to learn and I love to share. So it's every time I can take a new tool, a new technique, and bring it in and show it to my students. I teach how to make anything, and so it's a case every day I'm trying to find another challenge, another technique to show them. So it's just keeping the learning the new. It never gets stale, so it always stays fun, and it's always, I've got to get in there and work even when I'm not scheduled sometimes. I've always been an early adopter, so the fact that I wanted to have one of the first web-enhanced classes brought me into what we now call Blackboard, We used to beg to have a website. Now we have all of those resources in Blackboard that we can show videos, that we can do discussions, that we can do live things, whether we're on campus or off campus. I also do a lot with iPads, with the students that bring in their cameras and their smartphones. I'm trying to, whatever's at your disposal or that you have, I try to show them they can use that. And don't take anything for granted. Everything can be used, and you can find a way around any problem you've got. You probably have the tool. I guess it's a MacGyver type thing. I grew up watching MacGyver, and every problem has a solution, and generally it's just not one that you think is a solution. You don't have to pay the big bucks for the huge solutions. You can do it in any of the devices or any of the new technologies you carry around in your pocket. My one thing I tell them the first day I see them in 10:02 and the last day that I see them at the end is you've got to want to learn and know how to learn, because we're in technology, and technology is never going to sit still. It's always going to be running. It's that thing you reach for and try to get to. So if you've learned to learn, you know where to research, you know how to train yourself and what your skills are, you'll never be outdated or without your skills that you need. You need to be inspiring to everybody you meet, and you need to teach and share. That any knowledge that you've got, sharing is the best thing to do. They teach me every day. I couldn't get it to one. It's how to get past. I see every day students that have got these things that they're stumbling over in life, and yet they're here in class, they're trying, whether it's a learning thing or a life thing, they inspire me to keep going, that if they can do it, why can't I? Mine is finding the time to keep finding that new thing, so that no matter whether my new thing is an old thing for them, I don't ever want it to be stale. So mine is always finding that time and money to be able to go find that new thing I can learn about to share with them, and still keep it in the mainstream and not get myself in trouble at school for coming up with something that they're like, we don't know how we can support this, which I tend to do. Photography and art, and that's the one joy of the Fab Lab. I've been able to now, I can go do my photography and my art, and then I can bring it back and use it in the classroom. And so it's sort of dual purpose. I get to go take pictures of the coast of California, and I come back and engrave them into clock plaques that I show the students how to go in and make. So it's just the best of both things. Hoping I can go beyond retirement age and still teach and stay in the Fab Lab, and that the Fab Lab keeps going, because I can see it in every discipline we've got. I'm trying to work with the ICA, which is the culinary arts, the floral people, the interior design, the fashion, the graphic arts departments. I can see how everybody can use it, and I just am trying to find ways to show them and inspire them and get them involved, because I think that's good. I'm Jamie Bridgham. I'm an instructor in information technology and currently working in the Fab Lab at the Fort Omaha campus.